Welcome back to the Married at First Sight Season 11, Episode 11 review. This is Couples Couch with
Pat.
And I'm Cam. Let's get into last week's episode for a quick recap before we talk about what happened in last night's episode. Before we get into the recap, let's change the vibe in this room. If you're looking for a delicious smelling candle, check out 14 Parishes. Oh my God. Look up 14 Parishes on Instagram. They have the dopest smelling candles ever. I mean, it just takes over the entire room. Okay, let's get into the recap. So last week in episode 10, the couples were married for just about 3 weeks. Miles and Karen are trying to move forward after his sex joke that offended her, and she felt unsafe in that moment.
Last night, I did not stay at the apartment with Miles. I decided to stay at my place. He made me really upset with some of the comments that he made and things that he did at dinner.
Put it on the calendar.
What are you putting right there?
Sex with my
Saturday.
Sex with my wife.
Miles to give himself a hand.
Olivia is still irritated with Brett because of all of his sarcasm on everything. Henry says his deal breaker is impatience, and Christina feels offended when she finds out. Woody still loves Amani, and Amani isn't feeling the same just yet, but they're still going strong.
Yeah.
And Bennett and Amelia discuss their pet peeves, and Amelia couldn't figure out what irritated her with Bennett, and that throws up a red flag for Bennett because he's like, maybe she's too in love with me.
Yeah, you gotta have something with
Oh,
her.
yeah, because I can tell you right now with this one.
Again.
Let's get into what happened in last night's episode. Episode 11 review is going to be another high-level overview. We're not getting into all the nitty-gritty details, things that were lame. Like, we just want to get into what's interesting, what's important,
What's lit?
and what's up. So, the couples in this episode have been married for a little over 3 weeks. They're working to establish trust and intimacy in this episode. And they need to build this as their foundation or their marriage won't work. Next scene, Olivia and Brett are discussing their living situation with Dr. Viviana, and Brett, of course, starts up with his sarcasm. They move into their convo about the topic of intimacy, and it's apparent that Olivia is not comfortable with
I
PDA.
think it would be a little bit easier. Don't look at me like that.
Okay.
I think that, I think if Brett didn't own his house, it wouldn't be an issue.
I'm so irresponsible.
Is that what you mean? That is not what she means.
Okay. The fact that he owns his
Stupid
is...
equity. What was I thinking?
Not the time for the sarcasm.
Not once has she ever initiated a touch between us. Not once.
Touch me. Closer.
Well, and I mean, it's not because I feel like that's what should be happening.
That's like uncomfortable and awkward.
Okay, so it was a little too far. Okay.
She's so
Yeah,
annoyed at everything he says. Like, she gets like this super poker face look, like, but you can
Turns
see
red.
you can see like she's like exploding
Yeah.
behind her face.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. She's so angry that she can't even make a muscle move.
They got it wrong
She's
with
like-
these two.
She just loses it.
Like-
It's like, and then she doesn't even really want him to touch her. Like, she's just
Yeah.
like, all like.
But he kind of calls some of it on himself.
Yeah,
Like,
he tries to be extra funny. but-
What an irresponsible decision. Didn't nobody say nothing about being irresponsible? Okay, bro, you own your house.
Yeah,
Cool.
we get it. So do we.
Like,
We're so irresponsible.
It's a big achievement,
It
but
is.
you can't throw it around like that, or else it just diminishes it.
Yeah, it loses its value.
Yeah,
Right?
and you're an ass.
Okay, well, there it is.
Yeah.
So,
Bam.
Dr. Viviana stops in to see Miles and Karen. Karen says she doesn't really like to talk about sex on camera because her parents are watching and it just feels weird. And then she also goes into saying she really doesn't want to do too much kissing and snuggling with Miles and give him the wrong idea that she's ready for sex. So Dr. Viviana says she has an idea. How about just take sex off the table until after decision day?
Can I offer up an idea? What if the two of you decided just to take that off of the table?
Yeah.
Just until maybe after final decisions are made.
The prospect of sex seems to be a roadblock for Karen and Miles. So for them, it's important to establish other forms of affection and physical intimacy on a regular basis. That way, the idea of sex will feel more organic once they're ready. For now, I believe removing the pressure of sex from the equation can help them get there.
How about you shut the hell up?
And get on with your green dress.
No, I mean...
I'm just kidding. It's a cute dress. So what if we're seeing a therapist and she suggests that we just remove sex from the equation?
Remove me from the equation. No, but for real.
Uh-huh.
I would just be like, well, who do I talk to about getting my keys to my new apartment?
That's why I know Miles ain't going for it. That yes was like...
He gonna have to go for it. She already damn near accused him of rape for talking about sex. That okay better been okay.
If he feel like we know,
Yeah.
just go on and go with what they say.
Yeah,
just
go.
to keep the peace.
I'll
So.
sleep in the living room.
Let's move on to the next scene. Dr. Viviana is still on her roll, making her rounds to everyone, and she stops in and sees Henry and Christina. And Henry and Christina are challenged to practice basic touch and affection.
If you were to hold her hand right now, could you hold her hand and show her how you would like for it to happen?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh-oh.
no, I'm good with just natural affection.
It's a big step. You touched her and she was like, oh.
I am very open to any physicality. I can start taking the lead after someone else takes the lead first. And that's what I'm attracted to. That's a non-negotiable for me.
I mean, hand holding, leg holding, anything. Christina's like, give me anything. Give me something. I'm here for all of it. Give me a little piece. Henry was like, I can totally do that. So, we can do basic hold hand touches.
Wonder, has he ever had a girlfriend? Like, is this
He
new
said
to
he's
him?
dated, but they didn't get deep in affection, and I
So
don't know. Maybe he had one
may
night
very
stands.
well be
what?
inexperienced.
A virgin?
Maybe.
I don't think so. He says once the barrier has been broken down, it's easier to take it from there. What that barrier consists of and what it is, I am not too sure, but that's what he said.
What does he go to Rick James once he gets comfortable? What are you talking?
No, I didn't put my feet on his couch. Yes, I put my feet. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
But I'm serious, like
Rick
if
James, though.
Well, you're the one that said no. He says once he feel comfortable, then he goes right in. Like there's not a switch. Like bro has been told by experts and
Other married
the girl,
couples.
his wife,
Friends.
like touch me. Or tell me you don't like me. One of the two.
I'm taking anything at this point.
Yeah.
Next scene shows Amani and Woody in their apartment, and their neighbor's dog is barking like crazy. And Amani says that she wants a dog, but she plans to control her dog from barking like that. And the way she plans to control her dog is to spray him in the face with water. Woody went off.
And the dog is loud.
That's what I'm saying. Dude got to get his dog together. For real. And you want a dog.
My dog not gonna be barking like that.
You cannot control a dog.
You can train a dog to not bark.
So you gonna tell the dog stop barking?
You spray them with water when they bark. And they stop barking. It's for real.
Wait, I want you to stop talking. I can spray you with water.
I will beat your ass.
He was like, so you mean to tell me that if I just want you to stop talking, I can spray you in the face with water?
I will beat your ass.
She said, I will beat your ass. Listen, spray my dog right now with water and see if what happens to you. If
He
you
will
spray
bite your ass.
And Woody made a good point. That's their language. That's how they talk. Like, we don't know what they're saying, but you can't shut a dog up by spraying him with water. I have never in my entire life.
You cannot silence the people or the canines.
Let's move on to the next scene. Shows Olivia and Brett are out to lunch and they're discussing their visit with Dr. Viviana. Call her Aviana.
I want some water too.
I'm still thinking about the dog with Amani. Dr. Viviana's visit. Olivia tells Brett that she doesn't like how he looks at her because she feels like in conversation he looks at her sarcastically.
What does she mean?
She just feels like he's not being genuine in conversation, and she even goes as far as to say, do you even want to be married to me?
I do think that there's something that I'd like you to work on a little bit when we're sitting down and talking and having these serious conversations.
Sure.
Is how you look at me. Sometimes I'd look over like to see what you were going to answer, and it's just kind of like you're sitting there looking at me like sarcastically, and I know you're a sarcastic person, but it bothers me a little bit.
What's a sarcastic look?
When you just like look at me like, when you do it, I'll point it out to you because you give it to me. But I'm pretty sure I told you once or twice while we were sitting on the couch, like, don't look at me like that.
No, I look sarcastic. I didn't even know that's a thing at all, in fact.
You're just kind of like looking at me like I'm dumb.
If looking sarcastically was a person.
He's like, yeah, he's like, I didn't know I did that.
Yeah, like.
But in fact,
I
didn't even know that was a thing.
That was definitely his face. Shows Henry and Christina. They are working on their trust questions. Henry mentions that he has not been confident since he was a child because growing up, his weight would be up and down, and kids will make fun of him for that. So he's still pretty critical on himself in present time because he still has that in his mind. So apparently, like, that did something to him. You know, it messed him up, self-esteem wise.
Yeah.
Now it's Christina's turn to do her trust questions, and he asked her, what is the deal breaker for you? And her answer was confidence.
I'm really critical of myself, and I think a lot of it comes from when I was younger and heavier, and a lot of my friends like to theorize that I still see myself that way, and it just makes me kind of I guess overall it just makes me kind of like hard on myself. So I think I am not a very confident person because of it. What would be the biggest deal breaker?
Confidence.
The lack of confidence being a deal breaker, I don't really know how to take it. Like, especially when I told her straight up, that's probably one of my biggest, like, issues or weaknesses. So I just think it's rude. Every now and then she just kind of makes little comments that make me feel a little disappointed, but that's just kind of the situation right now. So, whatever.
Why would she be so mean to say that?
Because
that was so mean.
She got a fire burning in her.
And
he ain't there to quench it with that.
So she's
she's
mean,
frustrated.
mean.
Yeah, you get frustrated, then you get resentful, then you get petty. Like You can't. That's what's going to happen.
And she's being all of that.
That's why Miles and Karen. Why I don't think they're going to make it. Like,
because he's going to get frustrated and petty and all of that. So, yeah. I feel like that was the opportunity for Christina to pour into Henry and be like, no, you're good looking. And I think that you're, you know, physically, you look great. Like, I think you should.
Long?
I mean, for that moment, I didn't say.
Well, she been doing that for 29 days, and I only known you for 29 days. Hey, when does this car change directions? I'm tired. I'm yearning. Like, I gotta live with you all the time.
Final few scenes of this episode show Brett and Olivia. They went out to a cocktail making date. Henry met up with Bennett and discussed how Christina made the comment about confidence being a deal breaker and how it bothered him. And then the last scene shows Henry and Christina. They talk about his lack of confidence.
Like, still specific things in you that I'm like a little confused over.
Like what? Should I ask? Like with the way I operate? Is that what you're asking?
No.
Or saying? Yeah.
No, I don't think it's the way you operate. It's more along the lines of like why you are living in this unconfident world.
I don't know what she's driving at this point. To me, like she's turning the knife in the wound at this point with him. Like, I'm just trying to understand why you live in this unconfident world. Like, geez.
Are you just gonna be a bitch forever?
Are you not trying to be more confident at some point? Like, my goodness. Like, might as well just get the knife out and stab him.
It's just not the way I operate. Yeah, how you operate?
It's not working out for Christina, apparently, because she's feeling like, I'm at my wit's end at this point.
She just wants that. I mean,
she wants to be laid down, and he won't lay her down. So now she's gonna fight him with words.
What is it that?
That's it for episode 11. What did you guys think about episode 11? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, we love to hear from you. We will hit you right back. We love to see what you guys think and what you think will happen with these couples in the near future, because they're already at week 3, so we don't have that very many more weeks to go.
No, I think it was 29 days, so
they're a little over 3 weeks.
Deep into this love affair.
So drop your thoughts below. Be sure to click the like button and the subscribe button. Support our channel. We thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye, you guys. Peace.